Brad Wilson, been using Perplexity etc to generate website text. Think some of my sites are losing ranking due to this. Site recognized with AI text. Any suggestions for converting AI text to human language to beat this? At least for the home page, AI, sometimes some of the sections will give a very like long-winded, a lot of fluff. Again, I would try to remove as much fluff as possible. I would try to also include as much entities and like statistics as possible or numbers. I would really take a look at this site, GlenviewEliteRoofing.com, and just compare like AI content. If other people, a bunch of other people are using just AI alone, then you don't have a competitive advantage there, right? It also depends too. It's like how long did it actually ever get rankings and it's actually starting to lose rankings, or did it actually ever rank? Because I mean, I have some sites that are a lot of AI content that are still getting rankings, but touching it up with human effort and adding more information definitely helps. So I'm going to talk about population real quick because some of you guys are like, okay, like stick to 70 to 80,000 population. That's not necessarily the case anymore when especially when you're using like my roofing client. For example, we take a look at an area like this, Sandwich, Illinois, Lake Holiday, like just do the math, right? Like Sandwich, Illinois alone is 7,000, Lake Holiday, another 5,000. And yeah, so that's easily 12,000. And like a population size like that, there's going to be roofing jobs happening each and every month. If you don't believe that, then you can just literally go roofing in Sandwich. All right. And now just look at this company, for example, it has 57 reviews. This guy has 80 reviews. If you had to guess, how much money do you think these guys made last year? Okay, there isn't a direct method to find the annual recurring revenue of specific roofing companies just by their business name, unless the company self shares that information. However, there are ways you can gather related financial data, industry report, market research, public third-party database, business competitor analysis. My point is these companies have to derive business in all the way in Sandwich, Illinois, right? And they have to pay all their crew, all their team. The reason why we've said like 70,000 is because if in a small town, there's not enough roofing companies sometimes to send the leads to. Does that make sense? So let's say you rank in Sandwich, Illinois, for example, and you try to send the leads to this guy. He's gonna be like, we already got a lot of business. Like, why do we have to pay you a commission? Some of these roofing companies feel like they're super powerful, right? It's like, we're the number one company, Sandwich, Illinois. We're gonna get most of the jobs. That's what they think. So then it was difficult as a lead gen JKer to find a company hungry enough to take the leads, right? This is why we picked city size of 70,000 because at least 70,000 or 100,000, there's roofing companies in that city that are hungry for the because the city is big enough where there's more companies. However, because we're now leveraging my roofing company that can service all this area and that they can probably outquote this guy or even have a much bigger portfolio of commercial jobs that we've done. Now we can take these small towns and close those leads without you having to worry about finding a client to send the leads to. But look, this is Sandwich, Illinois. They have all this vehicle. That right there should tell you that this company probably makes at least $3 million a year. Yeah, this is like one job could be $50,000 in the roofing industry. If you don't believe me, any of you guys don't believe me, you can watch this video where I go through the client's CRM. Now we're setting stuff in the CRM, so I'm not gonna have, we're setting up a special account with the CRM, but for now, you guys can watch this video where I go through the CRM. So look at all these job amounts, right? $40,000, $12,000, $20,000, $92,000. If they close two jobs out of Sandwich, Illinois, and the surrounding areas, that's already $50,000. Let's multiply that by 12. That's $600,000 of revenue that year. And you saw the commission amount. A lot of these are 4%, 3%. Some are 5%. So let's just take the in between, say 4%. 4% of 600,000 is 24,000. and then you divide that by two, right? So yeah, that's $12,000 a year. So yeah, this if it generated just two jobs, that's like a $1,000 a month lead gen site. And again, I'm just arbitrarily throwing out the number, low end number of two jobs per month, but what if it generates two jobs per week? And what if it generates like a big commercial job? Like any one of these, and one, if it generates like $500,000 job, it'll completely inflate this number just after one job. The best thing of it all is once the site is set up, you literally don't have to manage it, right? You set it and forget it. Guys, I haven't seen online businesses where you can just set it and forget it and take a percentage of a company that's handling all this manpower and physical labor. Even in the e-com business, you still have to worry about inventory and logistics. It's a hassle. This is hassle free. You're able to take a percentage of like big freaking projects.